Good afternoon, students. Today I am back with my new topic on bryophytes. So our today's topic is bryophytes. Now there are few points to remember that bryophytes includes liverworts and mosses. What it includes? Liverworts and mosses. So let us come down to its picture so that we can get better understanding. So this is a typical structure of liverwort, which is a thallus-like structure, which can either have archegoniophore or antheridiophore. We will come to these things later. And this is a typical structure of moss. This is a typical structure of moss. This is funaria and this is sphagnum. Here we can see capsule, seta, main axis, rhizoid, and we will learn in details what are these. So let us come to the important points. Now they are grown in moist shade areas. We know that mosses are grown in moist shaded areas, no confusion in that. Now the important point is that these are amphibious plants which lives in soil, but their sexual reproduction requires water. So these are known as amphibious plant. They are more differentiated than algae. They lack true roots, stems or leaves. So we tell that they have root-like, stem-like and leaf-like structure. They lack true root, stems or leaves. Now comes a very interesting point, that is the main body of the plant is haploid, that is N. The main body of the plant is haploid, unlike the higher trees which we generally see. Now these haploid plants produce gametes, therefore they are known as gametophyte. And the sex organs here are multicellular. They are known as, the male sex organ is known as antheridium, female sex organ is known as archegonium. Antheridium produces biflagellate antherozoids. Antheridium produces biflagellate antherozoids, which are released into water where they come into contact to the archegonium. So we just now learned that they require water for sexual reproduction. Why they require? Because they require to release these antherozoids in the water so that it can swim and get attached to archegonium. Now what is archegonium? It is a flask-shaped structure which produces a single egg. Now what happens? These biflagellate antherozoids fuses with the egg to produce zygote. Now zygote gives rise to multicellular diploid sporophyte. Multicellular diploid sporophyte. Sporophyte are not free living, generally are attached to the photosynthetic haploid part. Now some sporophytic cells undergoes division to produce haploid spores. Now these haploid spores again gives rise to gametophyte. Now bryophytes are not that much of economic importance like that of algae. They sometimes provide food to herbaceous mammals, birds and other animals. Sphagnum, a specific type of a moss, produces a peat which is very useful as fuel and also packing material for shipment. These are often the first organism to colonize rocks. So these are very important in the evolution. And they forms dense mat on soil, therefore prevents soil erosion. Thus they have a very high ecological importance. Now there are two types, liverworts and mosses. First let us come to liverworts. This is a typical structure of thallus where I have just given the picture of archegoniophore and antheridiophore I have given separately. You can just replace in your mind archegoniophore with antheridiophore when you think of the male thallus. Okay, I have just not drawn the thallus separately. Otherwise, this rhizoids, gemma cup, these are same in both the cases of archegoniophore and antheridiophore. So what are the characteristics? They grow in shady area. Thallus is dorsiventral and present very close to the surface. Tiny leaf-like structure along stem-like structures. So as I told, they lack true leaves, true stems. Asexual reproduction is by fragmentation of thalli or by gemmi. Gemmi are produced in gemma cups. And which are the gemma cups? These are the gemma cups. Okay. Now these gemma cups are located on thalli and they gets detached from thalli to produce new individual. तो क्या होता है, ये गेम्मा कप्स डिटैच हो जाता है अपने थैली से एंड दे गिव राइज टू न्यू इंडिविजुअल्स. अब क्या है, सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन. सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन requires male and female sex organ which can be present in same thalli or different thalli. Okay, and then they produce a zygote. Zygote gives rise to sporophyte. Sporophytes are often divided into foot, seta and capsule, which is also true for the mosses, and spores are produced within capsule of the sporophytes. Spores germinate to form free living gametophyte. Here the sporophyte is attached and the gametophyte is the free living part. So here we now next go to mosses. So this is a very typical structure of mosses. This is funaria and this is sphagnum. Sphagnum is the one who produces peat for fuel. Okay, you remember that, no? Now here the points to remember are, again, predominant stage is gametophyte. Gametophytes are of two types here. Protonema stage, which develops directly from the spore, and the leafy stage, which develops from secondary protonema. Protonema stage is generally creeping, green, branched, frequently filamentous, and leafy stage is remains as lateral bud, upright, slender axis, bears spirally arranged leaf, bears spirally arranged leaves like this. They are generally attached to the soil through rhizoids. They are generally attached to the soil through rhizoids. Vegetative reproduction, again by fragmentation and budding in secondary protonema. And sexual reproduction occurs by antheridia and archegonia, which are produced on apex of the leafy shoots. Unlike the thalli in the liverworts, they are produced on apex of the leafy shoots. Zygote develops to sporophyte. Sporophyte consists of foot, seta and capsule. Capsule contains spores. Spores are formed after meiosis, and mosses generally have elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal. So hereby we end our topic on bryophyte and we are going to our next topic, pteridophyte. Now this pteridophyte is divided into four classes: Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida and Pteropsida. Pteridophytes are divided into four classes: Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida and Pteridopsida. So this is a very typical structure of pteridophyte. This is Selaginella and this is Equisetum. These are generally used for medicinal purposes and soil binders. Now, what is the important point? This is the first terrestrial plant to have vascular tissue, which is xylem and phloem. These are the first terrestrial plants to have vascular tissue. They are again found in cool, damp and shady places. We have seen ferns in below the trees, in shady places, in jungle areas. So we know pteridophytes are present in cool, damp, shady places. Here the main plant body is sporophytic and has true roots, stems and leaves. So this is very much alike to the higher plants. The main plant body is sporophytic and has true roots, stems and leaves. Well differentiated vascular tissue. Leaves are of two types. Sorry for the mistake. Small are known as microphylls and large ones are known as macrophylls. So leaves are of two types, microphylls and macrophylls. Sporophyte bears sporangia. So this main plant, that is sporophyte, bears sporangia. Sporangia is tended by sporophylls. Now there is one interesting structure which is known as strobili or strobulus. Let me come to the image and then show you. This is the strobulus. What is this? This is nothing but a compact structure formed by sporophylls. This is a compact structure which is formed by the sporophylls, within which there will be sporangia. So the sporophytes bear sporangia. Sporangia is covered by sporophyll. Some places sporophyll forms a compact structure known as strobili or cones. Now spores gives rise to small multicellular free-living photosynthetic thalloid gametophytes known as prothallus. Spores gives rise to small multicellular free-living photosynthetic thalloid gametophytes known as prothallus. Gametophytes grows again in cool, damp, shady places. And gametophyte gives rise to male gamete Antheridia and female gamete Archegonia. Now here also Antheridia produces antherozoids which require water for transmission or dispersal. Antherozoids are male gametes which require water for its transmission, or the better word is dispersal. Now fusion of antherozoid with egg produces zygote. Fusion of antherozoid with egg produces zygote. Zygote again produces sporophyte. Now here there is two types of spores. Microspores which gives rise to male gametophyte and macrospores which gives rise to female gametophyte. Okay, there are two types of spores. Now there are other two terms, that is homosporous and heterosporous. What are homosporous? The pteridophytes that are having similar kind of spores are known as homosporous, and heterosporous are pteridophytes which possess different kind of spores, and in homosporous similar kind of spores. Here, very interestingly, this female gametophyte is retained on the parent sporophyte. Till which time? Till zygote matures into embryo. And this thing takes place in female gametophyte which remains attached to the parent sporophyte. So, it is often considered as the precursor of the seed habit in higher plants. So, this is considered as a precursor event to the seed habit in higher plants. Thus, we can see that pteridophyte is a connection between primitive plants to the higher plants. So, here my lecture on bryophyte and pteridophyte ends, and my next lecture will be on gymnosperm. Till then, good luck, happy learning. Thank you.